What's up, everyone? Justin here, back with a new Year in Wrestling Reloaded 2000 Part 2. I will talk about and review, not really review, but I'll give you the results of the January 2000 Monday Night Raws and the January ECW on TNNs and ECW Hardcore TVs from January 2000. 2000 was a pretty damn entertaining year in wrestling. It was just, you had three major companies on cable TV, you had three major wrestling companies on pay-per-view. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome. If you were not alive in 2000, or if you were a baby, you really fucking missed out as a wrestling fan. It was really a great fucking time to be a wrestling fan. It was so good. I have so many great fucking memories. Just so many awesome memories from being a fan in the year 2000 of ECW, WWF, WCW, not so much. And before I start, my God, I ordered a lot of wrestling pay-per-views in the year 2000. I gave a lot of my fucking money to WWF and ECW. And sadly, ECW had really big crowds for a lot of their pay-per-views in 2000. Sold out crowds. They had to draw a lot of money from that. From the attendance and the merchandise. You would think ECW had to draw a lot of good money from that. And then they sadly went out of business in 2001, and sadly they were fucked by the pay-per-view companies. I don't know if satellite companies ripped off ECW, but because they went bankrupt, Paul Heyman has said in the past that cable companies owed ECW $2 million fucking dollars. $2 million. They were owed for pay-per-views that fans ordered. They didn't get that money. They did not get that $2 million that maybe could have saved them to not go under. That's really fucked up. That the pay-per-view companies, cable companies, I think the cable pay-per-view company was called In Demand. They didn't pay ECW. I don't fucking know why. They never got that money. But the crowds in 2000 were fucking insane. Not just for ECW. The fans loved ECW. They were fucking insanely passionate about the product. They showed up. Every pay-per-view was sold out, as I said, in 2000. Definitely, they looked sold out. Hardcore Heaven, 2000, in my hometown. Sadly, I was not there. I could not get there, and I could not get tickets. It sold out very quick. Hardcore Heaven 2000. But that is awesome that it was in my hometown. Anyways, that was sold out. Hardcore Heaven 2000, Living Dangerously 2000, Guilty as Charged, Heat Wave, Anarchy Rules, November to Remember. All those pay-per-views looked sold out, for sure. So, my point is, 2000 was a great fucking year in wrestling. It really was. WCW, not so much. But WWF ECW was great. My God, WWF was just on top. They were number one. To me, ECW and WWF were 1 and 2. My favorite companies. But WWF was, doing insane business. Every Raw, every SmackDown, every pay-per-view was sold fucking out. They were riding high. They were still living off the Attitude Era in 2000. And how can you fucking blame fans? You can't blame them for going, having. Fans had to be there. They wanted to be at shows. They had to be at Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views. You had to fucking be there. Because there's so much great talent to see. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, he was out with injury, but he didn't really appear in 2000 except on a SmackDown where he lowered that. He was in like a, I don't know what the hell you call it, a truck, construction truck that dropped the beam on the McMahon Helmsley DX bus and it exploded. That was pretty damn cool. That was on a SmackDown. And Stone Cold appeared at Backlash. He made an appearance. I believe he did a chair shot to, I think, Shane or Triple H or somebody, or Vince. But then he returned. Stone Cold would wrestle again in 2000 at No Mercy. But, yeah, you had to go to a WWF show in 2000. If they came to your city or town, you had to fucking go. I believe I went to 2 or 3 shows in 2000. One of them was a house show. I think I went to 1 or 2. But whatever. You had to be there. It was so goddamn fun. You had Too Cool. You had The Rock. You had Triple H. The Undertaker. Everybody was over. The crazy thing is every fucking superstar was over in 2000. Every star, every wrestler got a fucking big reaction. Everybody. The women. The men. The hoes. The Godfather's hoes. They all got huge reactions. So now let's start Year in Wrestling 2000 Part 2, where I'm going to give you the results and talk about these episodes from ECW. Hardcore TV from the first one of 2000, the first ECW Hardcore TV of the new millennium. Sadly, 2 years later in 2002, ECW would be gone. And have no more hardcore TVs. I don't think they ever taped and put out a hardcore TV episode. I don't think they ever did in 2001 in January because sadly they were done after Guilty as Charged 2001. For me personally, one of the saddest fucking days in wrestling. One of the saddest days when ECW had to go under. But I was happy for a lot of the talent that WWF took. And of course, Vince in WWF was going to take ECW's whole roster almost. Because Vince and Heyman had a fucking agreement. Vince was like, I'll pay you a little bit of money. I don't know how far going back. Probably to 97 or 96. Vince was paying Heyman under the table. Nobody knew about it except Vince and Paul Heyman. JR, I think, knew about it because he was the head of talent. But, yeah, RVD went to WWF and Rhino, Spike Dudley, Tajiri, so many ECW guys. But I'll talk about that more in my 2001 Year in Wrestling Reloaded. Hardcore TV, January 9th, 2000, from White Plains, New York. This was a great fucking show. RVD defeated Sabu by knockout in TKO in 5 minutes. That's pretty damn weird because their matches were always pretty damn long. Every Sabu RVD match I ever saw was like well over 25 minutes, just about. And RVD Sabu had great chemistry. They were a great tag team champions in ECW. Also, they were great opponents. And Sabu, I believe, helped train RVD a little bit. Might have trained him all the way, because the original Sheik, I don't know if I can't remember if original Sheik, I think, did train RVD, but I think Sabu mostly was in the ring with him, helping him and teaching him. So this was the main event, and it was fucking great. This was right before Guilty as Charged, 2000. We were coming up on that pay-per-view. A really good show. You had a mystery partner, dream partner tag team matchup. I think it was Tajiri and Super Crazy against Little Guido, Jerry Lynn, or I think it was Super Crazy and Jerry Lynn against Tajiri, Little Guido at Guilty as Charged. That was damn good. Also, Mike Awesome, Spike Dudley in the main event. That was really damn good. Spike Dudley took a fucking beating from Mike Awesome, and I would have to say, Spike Dudley, one of the toughest guys ever in wrestling. That guy took so much punishment and just insane beatings, but he kept coming back. He never gave up. Spike Dudley, one tough bastard for sure. I respect the hell out of Spike Dudley. I know the guy's retired, and I hope he's doing well, and I hope he's not in too much pain, because that guy took insane bumps and just beat his body to shit. In the WWF, he didn't have to take those insane bumps, and I hope he made a ton of money when he was in WWF. So Mike Awesome defeated Masato Tanaka right before Guilty as Charged to win the ECW World title from Masato Tanaka. Mike Awesome, the new champion. It was great. This match was awesome. You had a power bomb through the table in the corner from Mike Awesome to Masato Tanaka. You had a fucking sunset flip power bomb off the top rope to Tanaka. I never saw that before. Mike Awesome did it. I never saw any wrestler do that before Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome was great. The guy's a great big man. He was fucking innovative. He was a high flyer. He was over 300 pounds. And my God, the guy could dive over the top and just do great shit. Dive into the crowd. Springboards off the top rope. Now, Masato Tanaka, Mike Awesome, a lot of their ECW matches, and I've seen all of them, they were a lot of the same spots. The same match, but I didn't give a fuck. I thought it was still fucking entertaining and great. But a lot of them were the same spots. But it fucking worked wherever they went, whatever city they were in. It fucking got a huge reaction. And White Plains, New York, the crowd was on fire. Mike Awesome wins the world title back from Masato Tanaka. I think he held it only a week. About a week, I think. So that was Hardcore TV for January 9th. Now let's go to the Hardcore TV at the end of the month. January 30th, because I'm still going to give you the results and talk about ECWs on TNNs. And I'm going to still talk about all the January Raws from 2000. So January 30th, Hardcore TV was from New Orleans. Simon Diamond defeated Jazz. Jazz was great. She was really fucking good in ECW. She was basically wrestling all the guys because there was no women's division. Jazz, tough as hell. And a really good worker. Also, we had Super Crazy defeat Ricky Banderas. Only 3 matches because Hardcore TVs were usually about 42 to 44 minutes. Sabu defeated C.W. Anderson. This was probably Sabu's last appearance. Final ECW match because the guy would leave after Guilty as Charged, after this Hardcore TV. Well, this was taped, I'm sure, before Guilty as Charged. I don't know. Maybe it was taped after Guilty as Charged, but Sabu was gone. That was sad. When I found out he was gone, I was pretty shocked. Maybe was owed a lot of back pay by Paul Heyman. I'm sure a lot of guys were and probably never got paid. So now let's talk about ECW on TNN. Sadly, I thought it was great when they got on TNN. That stupid fucking show, what the hell is it called? Roller Jam. That show sucked. Roller Jam. Anyways, ECW on TNN lasted, I think, 59 episodes. But, yeah, they got fucked by TNN. TNN fucking used ECW just to see if wrestling could get a good rating, and it did. ECW was the highest fucking rated show on TNN. Eventually, TNN would become Spike TV. And after WWF left, when TNN, I believe, gave Vince $100 million a year for Raw, and for another program, Velocity and Confidential. I think Confidential. But, yeah, Vince got $100 million by TNN for 5 years. Because they really wanted WWF, because they saw ECW got them ratings. And at the time, I think ECW on TNN was like getting over a 1.7 at one point. I don't know if it went down or up after that, but that's what I heard. Anyways, January 7th, 2000, ECW on TNN taped from White Plains, New York, where Mike Awesome won the world title on Hardcore TV. That should have been on TNN, but it wasn't. But they did show highlights of Mike Awesome winning on TNN. So in a tag team triangle elimination match, we had Danny Doring and Roadkill with Elektra taking on Kid Cash and Nova with Jazz and the Dubs. The Dubs were barely fucking around in ECW maybe for like 2 to 3 months. 4 months, and they were gone. They were like a hillbilly tag team. They looked like fucking hicks that were stupid and had no brains. Or that's how they acted. That was their gimmick. Stupid hicks and hillbillies. I like Danny Doring always. I thought the guy was really fucking talented. I liked Danny Doring a lot. Kid Cash was really fucking good in ECW. Nova was really good also. Roadkill, I didn't really give a fuck about him. He was an okay big man. He wasn't bad. He could do a nice springboard, double clothesline off the top. And a good big splash up next. So we had Danny Doring and Roadkill defeated Kid Cash and Nova. And then it was down to Kid Cash and Nova eliminated the Dups, and then it's down to Danny Doring and Roadkill eliminated Kid Cash and Nova. Main event time on TNN for January 7th. I believe this was taped on December 23rd, 1999. So it was shown like, I don't know, 2 weeks later maybe. Stairway to Hell match. Just incredible with Don Marie defeated Tommy Dreamer with Francine in 14 minutes, 15 seconds. Now let's get to the January 14th ECW on TNN. I'm not going to review and give you the results of WCW Thunder, because I don't give a fuck about Thunder, and it's not worth my time on these Year in Wrestling Reloaded shows. I probably should, but I don't want to. I do not want to give you the results of Thunders. But I will give you the results of Nitros in Part 3 of Year in Wrestling Reloaded 2000. I'll talk about Nitros again in Part 3. February and March on Nitros. So January 14th, 2000 ECW on TNN was from Atlanta, Georgia. Speaking of Atlanta, please, my Bucks. Please, you gotta defeat the fucking Hawks. You gotta. You're a better team. With or without Giannis. I love Giannis. I hate it that he was injured. But you still should win the fucking series without him. You gotta win it for Giannis. So, Atlanta, Georgia. And at Guilty as Charged, Dusty Rhodes appeared. Got a huge fucking pop, huge reaction. ECW Guilty as Charged pay-per-view 2000, by the way, was in the South, in Alabama. I don't know why the fuck they went to the South, but ECW drew everywhere they fucking win. The South, the Midwest, the West Coast, the East Coast. I don't think ECW wasn't in the South that much. Maybe North Carolina, Alabama. I don't know where else they went. Florida, of course. New Orleans. Texas, they did go to, I think, maybe a few times. In 2000, I know they taped Hardcore TV in Texas and on TNN. And the crowd in Texas was pretty fucking hot. I remember that crowd for ECW on TNN. They were really excited to have ECW in Texas. So Dusty Rhodes comes in, Guilty as Charged, hits a whole bunch of bionic elbows on Tajiri, Steve Corino, Jack Victory. And for some reason, Tommy Rich was there. I don't know if he's still under contract with ECW. I don't fucking know. He was never used after, like, the beginning of 99. He was not used anymore. He's part of the FBI, full-blooded Italians. But Tommy Rich just appeared at Guilty as Charged 2000 for some reason, I guess, just to get beat up and defeat Dusty. Dusty Rhodes body slammed him, hit him with the bionic elbow. Got a huge fucking reaction. The ECW fan base loved Dusty Rhodes. They loved him. They were chanting, Dusty, Dusty, and then from behind, Rhino attacked him. And then, like, the whole babyface mid-card roster came out and helped up Dusty because everybody respected him. Dusty Rhodes in ECW, that was pretty crazy to see. That was something pretty awesome. That was something special. But Dusty was only there, I'd say, 4 to 5 months, I believe. He did have a pay-per-view match at Living Dangerously 2000, a bull rope matchup against Steve Corino, where Rhino speared the speared, gored, whatever you want to call it. He speared the fucking hell out of the Sandman's wife and put her through a table. So Sandman's wife, I don't know if he's still married to her, but I think she's Peaches in ECW in like 93 to 4, I think. But the mother of his children. Anyways, Sandman's wife at the time, she was fucking hardcore to take that fucking table spot from Rhino. And then at Hardcore Heaven, she got power driven through a table to the floor. So, January 14th, ECW on TNN was, as I said, from Atlanta. Only 2 matches. Super Crazy defeated Little Guido. And the main event was Jerry Lynn defeated Tajiri. The rest of the show, I guess, was promos or highlights of old matches or hype for the pay-per-view. I don't know, but only 2 matches that lasted about 11 minutes total, 12 minutes. And they had like well over 20 minutes left in the show. So that was a January 14th, 2000 ECW on TNN. Let's go to January 21st, ECW on TNN. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the home of ECW, the ECW Arena. This might have, I don't know if it's a go-home show for the pay-per-view. I'm not sure. But if you haven't seen it, watch Guilty as Charged 2000. Pretty damn good pay-per-view. Not their best ECW pay-per-view, but it had like 2 to 3 really good matches. So we have non-title matchup for the tag team titles. Danny Doring and Roadkill defeat Raven and Tommy Dreamer, the champions, in 4 minutes, 58 seconds. I do not remember why they defeated the champions, but they did. I haven't watched a lot of ECW on TNN. I haven't watched in years. Like, at least, 5 years. I haven't watched an old episode in, at least 4 to 5 years. The best ECW on TNN they ever did, I believe, was from New York City Hammerstein Ballroom in August 2000, where they had a big tag title tournament. They had a 2-night event, back-to-back nights, and the crowd was fucking on fire for that. Steve Corino got a world title shot against Justin Credible, and again, the crowd in the Hammerstein Ballroom was so fucking hot and on fire for ECW. The two shows they did there in August of 2000. So, non-title, the main event was a Mexican death match, not non-title. The first match was a non-tag team title match. The main event, a Mexican death match. Super Crazy defeated Tajiri, 12 minutes, 58 seconds. And ECW on TNN had commentators Joey Styles and Joe Gertner. On Hardcore TV, it was always Joey Styles by himself. For pay-per-views, it became Joey Styles and Cyrus, now known as Don Callis. So, January 28th, did I skip over the 21st? I don't think I did, but here we go. January 28th, 2000, the final not hardcore, ECW on TNN, the final one in January 2000. Tajiri Super Crazy, in the last TNN they had a Mexican death match. It was fucking great, and there was never a bad. I never saw a bad. Tajiri, super crazy match. They had one of the greatest rivalries in ECW, one of the greatest feuds in ECW history. I loved their matches. They were so good. Up first, we had Tajiri Yoshihiro. Tajiri defeated Little Guido. And Tony Mamaluke was there with Sally. And there with Little Guido, Tony Mamaluke would eventually team up with Little Guido as they'd bring back the FBI. And before that, I don't know why, but Tony Mamaluke was in WCW. I think like November, December 99, he was in WCW for some reason. He was backstage like playing like a mob boss. It was fucking weird. Stupid Russo probably came up with that idea. Oh, he's Italian. Let's have him play a mob boss. What the fuck? That's like so stereotypical, stupid ass bullshit. That was dumb. Because Tony Mamaluke could fucking do a lot more WCW. You should have booked him in the ring with the Cruiserweight division. Because the guy could fucking go and work in ECW. He was really fucking good with Little Guido. They were a great fucking tag team. I don't care if Tony Mamaluke was skinny and little. The guy could fucking work. And Little Guido, I think, was actually shorter than Tony Mamaluke. He could work. And he's in WCW, and as I said, he's like a mob boss character because the Mamalukes were like afraid of him when they would talk to him. Or he was like the boss of the Mamalukes. They were like afraid of him, it seemed like. Or he was like their manager and he was stealing all their money and putting it in his shirt. That's all I remember about what he did in WCW. Again, Tony Mamaluke was great in the ring. Tag team matchup up next. And by the way, Tajiri defeated Little Guido. Tag team match. Rhino and Steve Corino defeated John Wilcox. He might have been an NFL player. I don't remember. And Tommy Dreamer. They defeated them. For the ECW World Heavyweight Championship, I think this was after Guilty as Charged. It had to be because it was ended January. Mike Awesome defeated Spike Dudley. 8 minutes, 31 seconds. And again, I bet you Spike Dudley, like he did at Guilty as Charged, I bet he took a ton of fucking punishment. Went through a ton of tables from Mike Awesome. So now let's talk about Monday Night Raws. For the year 2000 in January. January 3rd, 2000 Monday Night Raw from Miami, Florida. Had a lot of matches on here. And a lot of no contests and DQs. A lot of bullshit, bad finishes. A lot worse finishes than in 2021 on Raw. I'm not joking. A lot of these finishes are worse than in 2021 on Monday Night Raw currently. Because currently on Raw in 2021, at least their matches are pretty long. And they have like 2 to 3 really good long matches a show. And a lot of them, like the main events, are usually not no contests or DQs. So up first, we had Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon. The Dudleys defeated Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay, and Scotty 2 Hotty with Rikishi by disqualification. Too Cool was so good together. Holy fuck, they got super over, and Rikishi really got over. Even his ass and his stink face, that got really over too. And if I was a talent that had to take that stink face, I would have fucking hated it. You could have paid me $1 million. I still wouldn't have wanted to take it. Like, just imagine, like, what if he smelled back there or something? Or what if he farted right in your face? So anyways, he probably did to some guys to play a rib on them. He probably would blast one in their face. I don't want to think about that. And I'm sorry that you have to think about that also. And I'm sorry you had to hear that. I just blurt shit out that's in my head. So up next we had Kurt Angle defeat Kane with Tori by disqualification. Another fucking DQ 2 matches in. That's not fucking good. It's not good booking for a show. Tori, by the way, was not Tori Wilson. She was just Tori event before she was with the DX and McMahon Helmsley era. Tori was with Kane, and X-Pac, I believe, won her in a match because X-Pac and Kane feuded for like 1 or 2, 3 months. And X-Pac won Tori, and she was like his slave for 30 days. Had to be his manager, valet, come out with him. And then Tori decided to turn on Kane. What the fuck was that? After Kane was so good to her. That was pretty funny. Having like Kane have a crush and call Tori his girlfriend. That was pretty good shit. And a storyline. Up next we had Chyna, the Intercontinental Champion. With the Cat defeat Hardcore Holly with Crash in an intergender match in an intergender match to retain the Intercontinental title. Up next, Triple H defeated the Big Show in the middle of the show, or to start hour 2, I think. Defeated the Big Show to win the WWF Championship, I believe, for the second time. The first time he defeated Mick Foley after SummerSlam 99. Triple H defeats the Big Show to win the title. I don't know why the fuck did the Big Show even win the title, because he had it about a month. And then he dropped it. So up next we had Prince Albert. And Triple H and the Big Show, by the way, was the longest fucking, the second longest match of this episode. A lot of them were so fucking short. It was like pointless. Why even do them? Some bad booking because they just wanted to throw all these talents, throw as many talents, like use your whole roster almost, and put them on the show. And let's go have 2 to 3 minute matches. That does not work. That's stupid. But sometimes they do that still today on Raw. They still have like 2 to 3 minute matches. So Prince Albert and Big Boss Man defeated Test, Mae Young, and Fabulous Moolah in an intergender 3-on-2 handicap match. What the fuck booking is that? That is weird. That matchup is fucking weird. Makes no sense to me. And why the fuck do you have two, weird, to have 2 intergender and 2 handicap matches on one show? In January 2000, they did a lot of handicap matches on Raw for some reason. Up next, we had, by the way, Prince Albert and Prince Albert and Big Boss Man won. I was thinking of Big Show and Big Boss Man because they had a feud, and they had a WWF title match at Armageddon 99. That feud was great because the Big Boss Man made it great on Raw. He invited a fake cop to tell the Big Show his dad passed away, and then the Big Show started crying and believed it. I think it's actually true, because Big Show then went to his funeral. And he's at the cemetery, and the big boss man shows up in a cop car. and beats up, I think hit the Big Show with his car. Or Big Show tried to jump on his car and got hit. That was fucking hilarious shit. That was comedy gold. That was good shit. And then he chained Big Boss Man after he beat up the Big Show. He puts chains on the damn casket and decides to pull the casket with his cop car through the cemetery. Where the fuck did he take it? Does anybody know where the fuck he ever took it? Of course, there was nobody in the casket. And I believe Big Show's father at the time might have been alive. I don't know. But holy fuck, that segment was gold. To me, it was fucking super entertaining. I was on SmackDown, I think, in December 99 before Armageddon. Pulling a casket with a fucking car. And having the Big Show jump on his dad's casket and ride it out of the cemetery. And then he fell off of it. That was hilarious. I don't know who came up with that, but that was fucking hilarious. And then before that, he did a poem on Raw. Big Boss Man did. This was like some of the best work of his WWF run, in my opinion. Big Boss Man did a poem, read a poem. He was like, "I'm sorry to hear, Big Show, your dad finally croaked. And now that there's something about, I don't remember it by heart. But he says now he's living underground and is being eaten by worms." Epic poem. So up next we had the Acolytes defeat the Mean Street Posse. Again in a no contest 3-on-2 handicap match. It went 30 fucking seconds. What the fuck was the point of that shit? Jeff Hardy with Matt and Terry Reynolds defeated Al Snow in a steel cage. The Rock in the main event. The Rock defeated X-Pac and the New Age Outlaws in a no disqualification 3-on-2 handicap match. If The Rock had lost, he would have been fired, but he won. So now let's go to January. What's the next one? The second week of January. January 10th. 2000 Monday Night Raw. Come on, show up here. So it was from St. Louis, Missouri. The Road Dogg defeated Mr. Ass for some reason. I don't know why the fuck did they have a match? Were they fighting for Triple H's approval in the McMahon-Helmsley era? I don't get it. Or were they fighting each other for a spot in DX? I don't get it. Up next, we had the Hardy Boys. Anyways, the Road Dogg defeated Mr. Ass. The Hardy Boys defeated Kurt Angle and Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman, the guy is pretty damn good. The guy really had no personality or charisma, but he was pretty damn good, and he was a tough guy. Val Venus, the European champion, defeated Edge to retain the European title. The Hollies, Crash and Hardcore Holly defeated Chris Jericho and Chyna. 2 minutes, 48 seconds. What the fuck was the point of that? Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley defeated X-Pac. I don't know why they were fighting for. What the fuck did they have a match for? Did X-Pac, I don't think X-Pac turned on him. Earlier in the episode, he's like yelling at him, "I can beat you, I know it. Let me have a match for the title." I don't even think it was for the title. But after the match, I think they made up and hugged or something. Rikishi and Too Cool defeated Al Snow and the Headbangers. D'Lo Brown and the Godfather took on the Dudleys, and it ended in a double countout. Test and the Big Show defeated Prince Albert and the Big Boss Man. After Big Show lost the world title, in my opinion, they didn't know what the fuck to do with him. And they pushed him down to like mid-carder. And he was a mid-carder. He was in a WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 16 main event, but no, he wasn't going to win. And everybody knew Big Show wasn't winning. He was just in there. It was a fatal four-way with a McMahon in every corner. And holy fuck, looking back on it, Linda McMahon should have never been involved on TV. She should have never been fucking put on TV. She had zero personality, zero energy. She wasn't a good character. She couldn't act. She was shit. She shouldn't have been involved. She is one of the least charismatic McMahons I've ever seen. With like no personality, no character skills, no acting skills. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't wrestle either because she was an old woman. At least Shane and Stephanie could get really good heat, and they were good heels. And Vince is the best of all of them. He was better than all of his family. As being on TV, he was the best at it. He was a great announcer on commentary before he became Mr. McMahon. So the main event was D-Generation X, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, Triple H, X-Pac, with Stephanie defeated the Acolytes and The Rock and Sock Connection. The main event was the longest match of the show. As just about every Raw in 2000, the main event was always the longest match you were going to see and get. January 17th, 2000, Raw from New Haven, Connecticut. Test defeated the Big Boss Man to win the Hardcore title. D'Lo Brown and Godfather defeated Edge and Christian. Kurt Angle defeated Steve Blackman in 2 minutes, 18 seconds. They could have had a good fucking match, but it was too damn short. How could that be good? I don't care how good of workers you are, you can't have a good match in 2 minutes. It's like fucking impossible. And it's god-awful, stupid booking. It's just booking for the sake of let's get as many talents on the show as we can and let's have a 2-minute match. To me, it's pointless as a fan to put on a 2-minute match. So then we had the Acolytes up next, defeat Triple H and X-Pac by disqualification, 3 minutes, 57 seconds. That's so fucking short. Jeff Hardy defeated Bubba Ray Dudley in 2 minutes, 46 seconds. Again, that's bad booking, too short. Rikishi defeated Chris Jericho by disqualification for the Intercontinental title. 3 minutes. That's way too fucking short to have an Intercontinental title match. Kane with Tori before she turned on him. Defeated Prince Albert in a minute. Unbelievable. New Age Outlaws in the main event. New Age Outlaws defeated the Big Show and The Rock. Now let's go to January 24th, 2000, Monday Night Raw. Where it was, took place from, what the hell episode am I on? January 24th, 2000, Raw took place from, as I'm waiting for it to load, took place from Philadelphia. Al Snow and Steve Blackman defeated Edge and Christian. Chris Jericho, the Intercontinental Champion, defeated Hardcore Holly to retain the title. Crash Holly and Viscera, for some reason, were a team. They defeated Too Cool. Kane with Tori defeated X-Pac by DQ. That might have been when Tori turned on Kane. I'm not sure. The Hardy Boys defeated the New Age Outlaws by DQ. The Acolytes defeated D'Lo Brown and The Godfather. The Big Boss Man defeated Test by DQ. In the main event, Rikishi and The Rock defeated The Big Show and Triple H by disqualification. Only 4 minutes for the main event. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. 2021 Raws give their top matches more time than 2000 did. But 2000 are trying to throw every talent on the show. And I will say every single one of these talents in 2000 were fucking over. Really super over. So they all deserve to be on the show. Final Raw of 2000. January 31st. This Year in Wrestling Part 2 Reloaded 2000 has gone long. But I've reviewed ECW and TNN's, Hardcore TVs, and Raws. It's not really a review, but it's the results. Up first, from January 31st, 2000, it's from Pittsburgh. The New Age Outlaws defended the tag team titles against Al Snow and Steve Blackman. It ended in a no contest. Basically, every match in 2000, there were not many title changes on Raw. Not much at all. So a lot of the title matches would always end in DQ or no contest because they saved title changes for pay-per-views. Mostly. In my opinion, that's what they were doing. Because all these title matches end in no contest or DQ. Christian defeated Devon. And about WrestleMania 16, I will not review it. I already did in my original Year in Wrestling video on WrestleMania 2000. I think that was part 1 or 2 of Year in Wrestling playlist. Check out part 1 or 2 of the year 2000 is where I reviewed WrestleMania 16. But Christian defeated Devon at WrestleMania. It'd be the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian in the first triangle ladder match, and it was fucking awesome. The Big Show defeated Too Cool in a handicap match. The Rock defeated Kurt Angle. X-Pac with Tori defeated Chris Jericho with Chyna. I don't know who the fuck this lady is. Hervina. I don't know who the fuck that is. Defeated the Cat in a Lumberjill Snow Bunny matchup to win the women's title. In a minute. 14 fucking seconds. That is infuriating to hear that. Thank God those days are dead and buried and over. Thank God the days of Lumberjill Snow Bunny matches are over for women's titles. Thank fucking God. And fans love to bitch about Charlotte Flair. They hate her. They want her gone off of TV. They hate that she's pushed. Well, I would take Charlotte Flair every single day in the ring, being on TV, over going back to 2000, how they treated women's wrestling. It was treated like shit. It was treated as a joke. The women were treated like TNA. And they were until I would say the end of 2001, it started getting better, the women's division and how they treated them. But 2000, they treated the women like shit, as sex objects. And that's not, whoever that woman is that defeated the Cat, that is not the women's wrestling I ever wanted to see. And I never cared about. So 2000 women's wrestling, fuck no. I'll take 2021 any day from any company over 2000 WWF women's division. It was a mess. And it was not fucking good. The only good thing that happened was Lita winning the title from Stephanie. That was actually good. And who did Lita lose it to? I think Ivory, when she was in Right to Censor. Right to Censor, by the way, great gimmick. Underrated fucking gimmick. Yes, they were annoying. And I fucking loved to boo them at the time. But it was a great gimmick. It was a great idea, in my opinion. To put them all together on TV, basically, is a FU to the parents' television council, I think, was going after WWF all the time. Saying their TV was not suitable for children. No, fuck. You couldn't realize that? It was like TV 14 rated anyways. You dumbass fools. I fucking hate censorship and censorship groups that go after pro wrestling. Fuck them. We have a right to watch whatever and listen to whatever we want, even if it's offensive to some. Maybe it's not offensive to you. But still, we have a right to watch it. If that parents group, censorship groups, if you're offended, don't fucking watch it if it offends you. So, anyways. So, what the hell? Where was I? Who was that woman? I have no clue who that woman was that defeated the Cat. Maybe I can look her up here. Who the fuck is she, though? Harvey Whipple. I guess it's Harvey Whippleman. So the guy's dressed as a woman, I guess, and he won the damn women's title. What the fuck? It was Harvey Whippleman that defeated the Cat. So let's go back to these Raw results for the final episode of January 2000. The Hollies defeated Viscera in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Bubba Ray Dudley up next defeated Matt Hardy by DQ. In the main event, Triple H defeated Kane in a no contest for the WWF Championship. And I will say about Royal Rumble 2000, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, and Triple H had a great fucking street fight for the world title in MSG. It was awesome. It was damn good. It was bloody. It was violent. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. Mick Foley got pedigreed on thumbtacks. That was awesome. That was shocking for the time in WWF to see that. It was great. And Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, right before he retired at No Way Out 2000, when he lost Hell in a Cell to Triple H, Mick Foley so fucking helped Triple H as a heel establish himself as the world champion. Because he defeated Mick Foley. That gave him credibility that Triple H was a top fucking guy because he defeated Mick Foley. And good on Mick Foley. Shout out to him for putting over Triple H and making him a fucking top guy. Hope you enjoyed this long year in wrestling, part 2 for the year 2000. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Year 2000 in wrestling was great. What are some of your favorite moments? What are your favorite pay-per-views from January, February 2000? Royal Rumble I liked a lot. Royal Rumble 2000, Guilty as Charged 2000, and No Way Out was good. WCW's shows were not good. Why the fuck did you have Ric Flair, Terry Funk at Super Brawl 2000? Why? I love Ric Flair and Terry Funk, but they shouldn't have been wrestling on pay-per-view in a singles match. Maybe a tag, but not a singles. Super Brawl 2000 was a mess. They brought in James fucking Brown, and I think they paid him like $10 million to show up. Why? James Brown's a legend. The guy had great music, great songs. He's a great artist. But why was he at a wrestling pay-per-view, and why did you overpay him? You fucking idiots. Time Warner, AOL, Time Warner, whoever is in control of WCW. You're idiots for bringing in James Brown and for bringing in Tank Abbott. The guy couldn't work, and he looked like he didn't give a fuck to be there. He was there for a paycheck. So, Super Brawl 2000, the best match was the main event. Sid, Jeff Jarrett, and Scott Hall. That was the best match. Sold Out 2000 was not good, except for like 2 matches. What was the March pay-per-view? Uncensored. Not good. Uncensored 2000, not very good at all. You had Hogan and Flair. Why? I love Hogan and Flair, but they shouldn't have been on a pay-per-view in 2000 in a strap match. What the fuck? That was stupid shit. Hogan and Flair for Nitro, fine. I'd be okay with that. Not on a pay-per-view, and they put them on pay-per-view, I think, in the main event at Uncensored 2000. That was not good. Year 2000, Year in Wrestling 2000, Part 2 is in the books. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll be doing a Part 3 and many more parts to the year 2000 because so much happened. So many different shows were going on. Thunder, I won't talk about it, but Thunder was on the air. Nitro, Raw, SmackDown, ECW, and TNN. Pay-per-views. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye for now.